On May 10, 1996, Mount Everest became the scene of one of the deadliest disasters in climbing history. As multiple teams pushed toward the summit, a sudden storm struck, trapping climbers in the death zone with no oxygen, no visibility, and no way back. Over the next few hours, small mistakes turned into fatal decisions, and dreams of reaching the top became a fight for survival. In this video, we'll walk you through the full timeline, what went wrong, the emotional last moments of those caught in the storm, and the hard lessons Everest still teaches climbers today. If you find this story impactful, don't forget to subscribe Epic Tragedies for more real-life tragedies and survival stories. The 1996 Everest Disaster. The 1996 Everest disaster remains one of the most infamous tragedies in mountaineering history, a harrowing tale of misjudgment, human endurance, and the unforgiving power of nature. On May 10 and 11, a deadly storm struck near the summit, claiming the lives of 8 climbers and leaving a lasting scar on the climbing community. This catastrophe would forever change how the world viewed Everest and its commercialization. The events unfolded during what was supposed to be a triumphant season for 2 commercial expeditions: Adventure Consultants, led by Rob Hall, and Mountain Madness, led by Scott Fischer. Both were seasoned climbers with years of experience guiding clients to the summit. Their teams included climbers from around the globe, many of whom had dreamed of standing atop the world's highest peak for years. Among them were Doug Hansen, a postal worker attempting his second summit after turning back just short of the top in 1995, and Yasuko Namba, a Japanese climber determined to become the oldest woman to summit Everest at the time. The plan was straightforward: summit on May 10th and descend before afternoon storms. However, delays began early in the day. Bottlenecks formed at critical points like the Hillary Step, where climbers waited hours as fixed ropes were set up. The late start meant many climbers were still ascending well past the recommended turnaround time of 2 p.m. Despite this, some pressed on, driven by summit fever, the overwhelming desire to reach the top at any cost. By late afternoon, climbers began descending as weather conditions worsened. A massive blizzard swept the mountain, bringing whiteout conditions and hurricane-force winds. Visibility dropped to near zero, and temperatures plummeted. Climbers became disoriented, running out of oxygen and losing their way in the storm. Among those stranded high on the mountain was Rob Hall, who stayed behind with Doug Hansen after Hansen collapsed near the summit. Hall's final radio call to his pregnant wife back in New Zealand remains one of the most heart-wrenching moments of this tragedy. "Sleep well," he told her as frostbite and exhaustion overtook him. Scott Fischer, leader of the Mountain Madness team, died from exhaustion and altitude sickness during his descent. Yasuko Namba reached the summit but collapsed on her way down and was left behind by other climbers who believed her condition was beyond saving. Miraculously, Beck Weathers, another member of Hall's team who had been left for dead in the storm, managed to survive despite severe frostbite that would later cost him both hands and parts of his face. The aftermath of the disaster sent shockwaves through the climbing world. 8 climbers lost their lives over those 2 days, making it one of Everest's deadliest seasons at that time. Survivors like John Krakauer, who was part of Rob Hall's expedition on assignment for Outside magazine, chronicled their experiences in books like Into Thin Air, which became a bestseller and brought global attention to the risks and ethics of commercial climbing. The tragedy raised serious questions about overcrowding on Everest and whether inexperienced climbers should be allowed on such dangerous expeditions. Critics argued that commercial operators prioritized profits over safety by taking too many clients with limited skills into such perilous conditions. The disaster also highlighted gaps in communication and decision-making that proved fatal when combined with unpredictable weather. In response to this tragedy, climbing practices began to shift. Operators became more cautious about group sizes and turnaround times, while climbers were encouraged to better prepare for high-altitude conditions. However, even with these changes, Everest remains as dangerous as ever, a place where ambition often collides with nature's fury. The 1996 disaster is a sobering reminder that no amount of preparation can fully tame Everest's unpredictability. It's a story of human resilience, but also one of hubris. A cautionary tale for anyone who dares to challenge its icy heights. As we descend from this tragic chapter in Everest's history, we move toward another haunting tale, that of Green Boots, the mysterious figure whose frozen body became an unintentional landmark on Everest's treacherous slopes. Stay with us as we uncover this chilling story next. Green Boots, Sewang Palger, 1996. The story of Green Boots, widely believed to be Indian climber Sewang Palger, is one of the most haunting and enduring symbols of Mount Everest's dangers. In May 1996, Palger was part of a three-man team from the Indo-Tibetan Border Police, attempting to summit Everest via the challenging Northeast Ridge. Their mission was historic. They aimed to become the first Indian team to conquer Everest from that route. However, their ambition collided with the mountain's unforgiving nature, leaving a tragic legacy. The team began its ascent full of hope and determination. As they approached the summit on May 10, 1996, weather conditions rapidly deteriorated. One member wisely turned back, sensing the impending danger. Sewang Palger and his teammate Sewang Samanla, however, pressed on, determined to achieve their goal despite worsening visibility and freezing temperatures. By late afternoon, they had successfully reached the summit. It was a triumph for India, but it soon turned into heartbreak. On their descent, disaster struck. A fierce blizzard engulfed the mountain, bringing hurricane-force winds and plummeting temperatures. The two climbers became separated in the chaos and disoriented in the death zone, where oxygen levels are critically low. Palger sought shelter in a small limestone cave at 8,500 meters, 27,900 feet, but his body could no longer endure the extreme conditions. Alone and exposed to the elements, he succumbed to hypothermia. Palger's bright green mountaineering boots became his defining feature, earning him the nickname Green Boots. For years, his body remained in that cave along the Northeast Ridge, becoming an unintentional landmark for climbers attempting to summit Everest from that route. Many climbers paused briefly at Green Boots' cave to rest or adjust their gear, a grim reminder of how close life and death coexist on Everest. Green Boots raised unsettling questions about ethics and priorities in high-altitude climbing. Climbers often passed by his body without stopping to pay respects or attempt recovery, partly due to the logistical challenges of retrieving bodies at such altitudes and partly because of the relentless pursuit of personal goals. His story became a symbol of summit fever, the overwhelming drive to reach the top at any cost, and sparked debates within the climbing community about whether ambition had overshadowed humanity on Everest. In 2014, reports emerged that Green Boots' body had been removed from its resting place, likely by Chinese authorities overseeing expeditions on the Tibetan side of Everest. While this brought closure for some, it also erased a physical reminder of Everest's darker side, a place where dreams often come with devastating consequences. The story of Green Boots reminds us that even in moments of triumph, nature can humble us in the blink of an eye. It highlights the delicate balance between ambition and survival on Everest's icy slopes. Even as climbers strive for glory on Everest, Green Boots' legacy remains a powerful reminder to respect the mountain's power and the value of human life. If you found this story compelling, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories in future.